How are you? How's your marketing? We want to talk about how do you get quality customers using what we call three-person virtual summits. I don't know if you all have seen this or heard about this before. Morning to you. Good morning on Twitter. Good morning on YouTube. Good morning on LinkedIn. If you watch on LinkedIn, type LinkedIn. If you watch on Twitter, type Twitter. If you watch on replay, type replay and where you're watching from. If you watch the bid or in, let me know. How are you? So one of the, if you don't know, I launched a new product. It's at resellertoolkit.com/marketing-heaven. And it is the definitive book on marketing systems for routinely, regularly, consistently getting new customers in your business. One of those methods, there's 48 systems, and one of those is called three-person virtual summits. Hi, David. How are you? Welcome. Yeah, I'm a little late today, David. I don't know. I tried it at between 8:30 to 9 Eastern Standard Time. That really depends on how soon my brain, how fast the coffee kicks in and how soon my brain wakes up. So welcome. So the idea of the three-person virtual summit, it's just one of 48 systems you can use to get routine, regular customers. So what you want is about 5 spokes in your wheel. This is the goal. The objective is to have 5 spokes in your wheel. That way, if one spoke dies out or goes down or has a problem, you got 4 other spokes. If you only got one spoke and it goes kaput, kapooey, you're screwed. Right? So this is why I teach 48, because it's like a buffet and you can go and choose which ones work for you. Now, let's talk about the three-person summit. I have a friend, David Perdue, and he's done the bigger summits. The problem is it's a good morning to you. I see Facebook user. Let's see who it is. Hold on here. Let me get over. I'm going to switch over to my Facebook page here so I'm in groups so I can make sure that I see everyone who comes on. So anyway, David used to do these virtual summits, and what he found out is that like putting them together is a heck of a lot of work, right? And so the leads are great. The leads are fantastic, but it's like trying to herd cats to get all of these people together like simultaneously in all of this. I mean, that's a really, really tough deal, right? And let me go down here where I can see comments now. Okay, great. Oh, I see you, Rick. Okay, good morning, Rick. So the idea is that if you just do a 3-person summit, it's you and 2 other people. Now, if you're new, you get 2 other people who are relatively new, but have at least some list that they can promote to, right? As you grow, then you'll get a bigger audience and get people with larger lists to promote. Now, if you're experienced, then you can get 2 other people who are experienced. But this is going to be a heck of a lot easier than trying to produce this whole big virtual summit, which is like, oh my goodness, that's tough. That's really, really, really tough, right? So in the product, I talk about this. I show you where you can get really, really inexpensive, a lot more in-depth training on it. It's one of the things that I do is I always give my resources where you can learn more, study more, find out more, and so forth. But I have personal experience in this. And like one of my objectives was to co-create products with people, just like 2 other people. And even just doing that was really hard. Well, I don't know. I'm busy. Oh, God. You know, it was tough. And I'm like, okay, well, if you get the right people, that's great. But like, just trying to find the right people sometimes can be a challenge, right? And so I come across this 3-person virtual summit. I'm like, man, this is dynamite. This is going to solve a big problem. The problem it solves is, number 1, list building with high quality people. We're not talking about low quality people here. The people that come from virtual summits are going to be buyers, and they're going to be real high quality. Number 1. Number 2, you're introduced to them in a very, very professional manner. Number 3, it allows you to network effectively with others in a way that's not too much effort for them. Now, there are, you got to have people who are going to participate. You want people kind of at your same level. Like if you approach somebody that's got a list 10 times the size of yours, that's probably not going to pan out. you got to get people that are relatively on your level when you do these things. But I really like it because number one is you can have more consistent. What you're shooting for is consistent activity, right? And so the challenge or the problem with a big virtual summit is you get this huge rush of leads of people, but it took a long time to put it together. And so it's, again, you're back kind of in like feast or famine. Feast when you have a virtual summit, famine when you're trying to put together the next one, right? And what I prefer are the smaller wins that can get you consistency as you go along, David, that can get you consistency as you go along, Rick. Get you consistency as you go along, my YouTubers and LinkedIn people, Twitter people, Facebook group, masterminders, right? I mean, the derivative of this is co-creating a product with two other people. But man, what I found, and it's funny because when I talk about co-creating, I'm just talking about you all three get on a Zoom call and record a product together. All three of you, each one of you presents. It's really a no-brainer, but man, I had trouble getting people to agree to that. It was just like, it was really not the easiest thing in the world. And the idea is then is each person would promote the product to their list and it would promote the other person. But one of the issues there is you're not actually getting the names of the buyers. It's only if they watch it, like you, and then opt into your list. If you do a 3-person virtual summit, there's better ways to build your list where you could build a bigger list of high quality people faster. Now think about this. Let's say you do 5 virtual summits and each one of them adds only 100 people to your list, right? Which is realistic with 2 other people, right? If it was only 100 people, though, that would be 500 fresh names to your list. Now, all of a sudden, you've increased your list size by 500 and you can go get some bigger people on your virtual summit. But let's say that you add 200 per virtual summit, which again, if you got 2 other people, that's like 100 each. That's very doable, right? I mean, now you would have 1,000 people added to your. So what I'm saying is you can parlay this thing up relatively quickly. Now, in the old days, there's a guy, one of my friends, great guy named Telman Knudsen. Telman did this, but this kind of thing, but he did. It wasn't really a virtual summit. It was kind of this like weird hybrid, and it worked. It worked really well. But again, there was still a lot more personalities involved. I really like this thing of just having 2 other people. And here's why. Consistency to me is so important. Because what you do not want in business, to me, by my way of thinking, my way of feeling, is a lot of ups and downs. Ups and downs just suck. They will suck the life out of you, right? What you want is to aim for consistent growth. Now, if you studied any of the things, the back live streams that I did on goal setting, if you didn't, you should go back and listen to them. I'm a fan of a guy named Joe Verdi, who's the best teacher of goal setting and accomplishment and achievement, bar none, ever. History of the world as far as I'm concerned. He learned it from Zig Ziglar, but he took it like to many levels beyond that. And there's different approaches, right? His approach is a lot more detailed. Grant Cardone's approach to goal setting is very big. It works, though. It works for some people, right? I just like the way Joe Verdi teaches it because like the difference is Joe's seeking incremental steady progress and Grant's like seeking the big, huge breakthroughs. They both work. Right. And for people with big untapped potential, maybe seeking that huge, massive, explosive growth can work for them. I like more steady and consistent. I mean, one of the reasons is your merchant accounts. If you dump a whole lot of money real fast into your merchant account, it's probably not going to be a good. It's probably not going to be a good picture, right? So you prefer that steady growth. So if you want to know more about this and you want to learn more, again, I got 48 marketing systems in there, but if you want to learn more about this marketing system, you just go to resellertoolkit.com/marketing heaven if you haven't already done that. And I'll give you the one biggest tip about this that I think is really going to help you, because it's a mistake I made. Do not approach two other people and try to get them to agree on a date. This is a sure path to failure. I'm serious. It's not going to work. What you do is you find your one other person that you can get on board. You nail down the date and time with them. Now you go to you go to your other hit list of possible people, and you say, on this time, on this date, we're having a virtual summit. It's going to be 3 people: me, Johnny Jones, or whoever, Sally's, and one other person. And we'll each mail our list. We'll make this virtual summit happen. We'll all be able to build our list. We'll get exposure. Everything's going to come up roses, right? If you do it like that, then you're going to have a lot greater chance of success. Because if you're just like, okay, guys, let's get together on a date here, they ain't ever going to get together. Just 2 people. You can imagine what it is with a virtual summit if you're trying to get a bunch of people to agree on a date. That ain't ever going to happen. I mean, I know this from personal experience. I was like trying to get just a few friends to come together to create a product. So I got one friend who wanted to do it. And I'm like, okay, great. This is going to be great. But we didn't really nail down date and time or anything else. And then I go to the next friend. Oh, no, I don't think I want to do it with this guy. Blah, 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 blah. I think, the product creation seemed like too big of an obligation. Like somehow that they didn't agree with every little thing that other person did, that they were going to be personally responsible if they sold the product, right? On the other hand, a virtual summit, to me, is a lot less commitment, right? This is what I think. So run Monday. Monday's the time you set your goals for the week, your plans for the week. You think about your week. If you're a fan of Neotech like I am, you have 10 injections for the month for your business growth. And each Monday, then you may not have 10. In Neotech, you do 10, which is a lot. That's a very aggressive thing. I can't really manage 10 injections in a month. It's a challenge unless they're small, right? But the idea is you have your growth plan for the month, right? And then on Monday, you want to make sure you're blocking out time for those, because if you don't plan for it, it'll never happen. You ain't never going to do it, right? So that's what I got for you guys. If you watch this on replay, type replay. If you watch it live, type live. If you watch it the bitter end, type bitter end. If you watch it on LinkedIn, let me know. If you watch it on Twitter, let me know. If you watch it on YouTube, let me know. If you watch it on my Facebook group, let me know. And I do these every day. Now, by the way, you can make money referring people to my products and indirectly to my live streams, right? The way that works is I have a free live streams page that you can promote, and that sets a cookie, and I follow up with the people who join to sell other products and services. You can find out about that and join at resellertoolkit.com and get in on that. Help us grow the group, help us reach more people, and make this a fun, exciting, dynamic place to be. So, and if you have topics you want me to cover on new live streams, then you can also let me know today. You all have a great week. Plan out your week. Plan where your income is going to come from. If you have the strange ritual, that's what I like to do on Mondays. So with that said, thank you all for being on, and I'll see you tomorrow on the next live.